Boker Tov. We're learning Siman Kuf Yud Zayin. Halacha Lemaisa. What does a person do when it comes to V'sein Tal Umata? There's a mitzvah to ask for rain. When it comes to the bracha of Birkas Hashanim, asking for rain starts already in Eretz Yisrael this past Thursday night, which was Zayin Ma'cheshvan, and in Chutz La'aretz it starts in what's called the 60th day of the Tkufa, which comes around December 4th. Question: a person is traveling to Eretz Yisrael. In Eretz Yisrael, they're asking for rain. Here in America, we're not asking for rain yet. Now, there's a rule. There's a famous expression, when in Rome, do like Rome. You're in a place, do exactly what they do. And the logic behind that is that we don't want to have what's called a machlokas, a dispute. Two contradictory customs, one in front of the other, is creating a machlokas. One of the things we run away from is machlokas. So on one hand, of course, do exactly what you do in Eretz Yisrael. On the other hand, no. Mr. Burke quotes an opinion that says you do based on where you came from, if you plan on going back. So for example, let's make it simple. Someone is traveling from America to Eretz Yisrael. In Eretz Yisrael, they're asking for rain, but here in America, we're not asking for rain. So if a person is planning on coming back, now coming back means before December 4th, so then they're considered really part of right here, America, so they should not be asking for rain. On the other hand, in Eretz Yisrael, they're asking for rain, so what they should do is, says Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, they should ask for rain in Shemei Tefillah. Because since in Shemei Tefillah, you could ask for whatever you want, so this way you cover all bases. You're not asking for in Baruch Aleinu, because you're still part of America. On the other hand, you should be asking, so you ask in Shemei Tefillah. If a person's not planning on coming back, let's say they're there for the year, or past December 4th, they could even say V'sein Tal Umata in Baruch Aleinu, because they're considered part of Eretz Yisrael. The opposite is also true. If someone is traveling from Eretz Yisrael and he's coming to America, and they're Ben Eretz Yisrael, they're already asking V'sein Tal Umata at this point, so they continue. And even if they're planning on staying, so really if they're planning on staying, maybe they're considered B'nei Chutz La'aretz, so then the way to cover your bases is you only ask for rain in Shemei Tefillah. The Shevet HaLevi said that's the best way. So if you're coming from Eretz Yisrael to Chutz La'aretz, whether you're staying or not staying, the easiest way to cover your bases is to say it in Shemei Tefillah. Al pi halacha, if a person is already saying it and he's planning on coming back before December 4th, avadi betzim, he should say it b'Baruch Aleinu, but to make it simple, the Shevet HaLevi says you cover all bases this way, it's to say it by Shema Kolein. This concept also teaches us, like I said, the idea of following what the minhag is. Today is called Halloween. Someone asked me an incredible shaila. I was so inspired and impressed. They said to me, look, someone offered me a job, an expensive job. The job basically was, this person was making a simcha. Actually, a person was actually Hasidish. And they decided they want to make a theme of Halloween. It's sad, because they're making it's actually something like a wedding. I don't want to be very specific, so it's not publicized. But the idea was they're making a simcha, and they want to make it Halloween theme, and that meant that they want to have pumpkin pies, and they want to have the pumpkins, and they want to have cobwebs. And this person asked me, am I allowed to do this? And I told him that there's in lav. And usually, he knows, usually I don't try to be machmeh. I try to do what's if it's mutter, it's mutter. I say, listen, there's a lav called lo yiseichu b'chukas hagoy, which means don't follow the customs, the laws of the non-Jews. And especially when it has pagan, that means a real avodah zarah. If you look at Wikipedia, you research, Halloween actually has pagan roots to it. So it's a machlekas actually, if it's really Christian roots or pagan roots. And I explained to him like this: anything that a person does that they would anyway do, meaning it's pumpkin pies, I said, that I could at least swallow. And it's probably, especially if it's good pumpkin pies. Why? Because people eat pumpkin pies. But when you start doing pumpkins and you start doing cobwebs, that clearly is depicting and expressing that I want to be like the goyim. That mamish can be a lav doraisa. And this person told me, Rabbi, if this is what you're telling me to do, I'm willing to lose money, even though this person is going to pay me a lot of money. And I explained to him, I said, that at least even the pumpkins, maybe I could find another heter. Why? Not that I wanted to rely on this. Many years ago, someone asked me to come and learn with a boy. This goes back almost 30 years ago. To give him chizuk. Anyway, this person happened to be a genius. He read through everything. And one of the conversations that we had was about the pumpkin. And he showed me a Ran in Maseches Brachos. Incredible. The Ran Maseches Brachos tells us that the reason why the Gemara says in Daf Nun Zayin that if a person is dreaming and he sees a pumpkin, he should know it's because he's Yirei Shamayim. So the Ran says, what is this? One of the boys in the yeshiva, this is the Ran, says, he says, someone came out to him and said, what's Pshat? And I told him, I never heard Pshat, but I want to tell you what I think. And he said that the reason is because a pumpkin is something so large and so big, but yet it pushes itself down. Perhaps also because of the weight. Also the word Dilas means Dalu Einai, look up to the skies. He said that represents Yirei Shamayim. He says there's nothing greater than a person that's Yirei Shamayim. And especially today in this world where things are just very easy, lax. That doesn't matter. It's going to be okay. It's all okay. Yirei Shamayim means that there is responsibility. There is consequences. And therefore I said, maybe the pumpkins, you see the pumpkins, instead of thinking of all the witchcraft and everything else, you should know it's interesting that those that live in Pomona, even Pomona is one of the names of the gods that related to the pagans. Okay, so you're allowed to live in Pomona. Why? Because it's just a name for us. You see a pumpkin, think about Yirei Shamayim. Am I doing things, am I making cheshbonos that there are consequences to my actions? A person should have a tremendous siyata dishman hatzlach, and we should be zeicha to be Am Yisrael. We have so many incredible customs. We don't need to add more customs of cobwebs and pumpkins. Hatzlacha.